Private jets, luxury villas, celebrity photo ops, and now a flashy scholarship at a major business conference. It looks like success, but behind the scenes, it's nothing more than a house of cards. 4 days ago, I emailed the founder directly, asked some simple questions. The response? Silence. Not just silence, the kind of silence that's so loud it echoes off the marble floors of his rented villa. Here's what some investors are saying. I receive payments every month. It can't be a scam. But that's exactly how every Ponzi works. Early payouts keep the illusion alive, while new money props up everything. Bernie Madoff. Victims said the same thing, right up till the day that the checks stopped. Already, one potential investor pulled back $1 million, a transfer, after seeing the information I'm about to show you. That's the scale of what we're dealing with. So today, I'm calling for accountability. If this company is legitimate, show us the proof. It's too good to be true. And if you've got insider knowledge, contracts, wallets, lifestyle theatre, come forward. Go to deheck.com and give us your information anonymously. We'd love to know more. Your intel could save ordinary families from losing their kids' inheritance to yet another Ponzi scheme in a fancy suit. This is not innovation. This is Ponzi theatre, dressed up in glitz and glamour. And when the curtains fall, the cards will come crushing down. Look, I posted my blog on LinkedIn and I received a comment from an investor. And this is the typical comments I get when I'm investigating Ponzi schemes and scams. I've been doing this for over 5 years, and as I normally say, I'm Danny DeHeck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, and I'm here to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Whew, that's a mouthful. But not if you say it every day. Not if you work 70 to 80 hours a week exposing scams. This is nothing new to me. This is just another Ponzi scheme. You guys need to wake up. And this comment that somebody posted on my LinkedIn profile is just, in a nutshell, perfect to explain the mentality of people. I've been in this fund for a year. They've never missed a payment and even took out a large amount of principal a few months ago with zero issues. Have you found anyone that has been scammed? Or just speculating? Oh my goodness. You know, I get comments like that and I think, oh my goodness, are you mental? But I can't, because I don't know what the illusion is, why people think they have to believe it's true and genuine. My beloved mother said the same thing that your beloved parents said. I was brought up in a one-parent family. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. The other thing is, like extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And that's Rob Worley's quote, but I've adopted it as my own. It's one of my fellow Avengers. So come on, guys. I mean, let's use some logic here. If somebody's claiming that they can pay 3 or 4% interest per month, which is unheard of, that's an extraordinary claim. Where's the accountability? Now, if somebody was intimidating me and they were in my face and they were telling me that I am one hell of a wealthy guy and I didn't get where I am today because I didn't understand business, would you back off and go, okay, mate, sorry? That's how these guys survive. And that's why I said in this introduction, and I prepared this, and I don't normally do this. What is it? You need to these guys need to be accountable. These people are spending $180,000 hiring a Lear jet to fly around to Mykonos, which even I've been to Mykonos as I hitchhiked around the world sort of thing. On my world trip, I remember going to Mykonos, but I didn't take a $180,000 jet with me. Where did that money come from? It doesn't come out of thin air. It comes because that's all how they do it. The glitz and the glamour. You'll be like me. But they're using your money. Crazy. Anyway, I have the privilege of showing you some work that I've been working on. I got some intel from some whistleblowers, and also this is a sponsored blog where somebody's asked me to research. I've used OSINT to do my research, which I don't know if I pronounced that right, OSINT, which is open source intelligence. So I've just gone to this guy's website and investigated a billionaire, which seems like a billionaire. I don't know how rich he claims he is, but the website where he's promoting this opportunity that pays so well is one of the worst websites ever for somebody who's got wealth oozing out of their suit. I mean, their team, they have all these little wee icons and they all go off to their LinkedIn profile. There's about 15 or 20 in the team. All of the images I did searches on and no digital footprint. So he must have got all these photos done on the same day, and he's only ever uploaded them onto his website. Only one of these LinkedIn profiles where it gives them credibility. You click on it and it goes off to a guy, which I'll show you, and he doesn't even have anything on his LinkedIn profile about the company he's working for that's making all this money. So it's just crazy. But anyway, first things first, let me introduce you to my blog. I do want to bring, we're just going to read the blog. I want to keep on track a little bit here today because these guys have more money than me. And normally when I do an expose exposing these guys, I get defamation information. So that's why I'm saying all the information that I'm about to show you has actually been gathered off the internet. And that's how I do my my research. So if you want to sponsor me in doing a review, say you're about to hand over $1 million to someone and you just want me to review it and give you the red flags, what I see, go to my website and you'll see here I've got sponsor review just above my head here. Or if you want to support me in any which way or form, I actually have my Buy Me a Cup of Coffee account back now, which is fantastic. And I also have another one now on the other side here where you can actually join up and be part of my monthly membership. I don't do it for the money, but it does help pay the bills, and I really do appreciate anyone that wants to support me. So I'm here to be bribed with super chats or anything like that. And I also have a team of Avengers that help me with a lot of information, which I'd like to say hello to Jelly Snack, Rob, and also Crypto G, who has actually been investigating one of the wallet addresses that we have been given about this company. Anyway, so let's get straight into it. The words speak for itself. Hopefully I've got my sound going all right. Looks like we have. So let's have a listen.
When a fellow Avenger messaged me with the words, "I've got the contract," I knew this wasn't just another glossy crypto website.
Yeah, and I'll just be full transparent. We've got some photos of the lovely jets and the boats and the DJ on the boats and people flying around and all this sort of stuff. But also I wanted to show you, this is the contract that we got, and it was brilliant because it really exposes the company. And we got given that document and we went through it all with a fine-tooth comb, and this is what we've come up with.
Not a pitch deck, not a brochure. The actual joint venture agreement investors are being told to sign, and contracts don't lie.
No, contracts don't lie. And I don't know about you, but last time, did you read that fine print? Very hard, but we read the fine print for you, so don't panic, ladies and gentlemen.
What I found inside was alarming. Promises of fixed monthly returns, clauses that let Goliath freeze withdrawals at will, and disclaimers so broad they erase every guarantee they just made.
Yeah, contradicting joint venture agreements. You just read the agreement and it contradicts itself. How stupid is that?
Layer on top of that a website full of extraordinary claims, recycled team bios, paid-looking press features, and a title sponsorship at one of the biggest business conferences in America, and you've got the perfect recipe for investors to get hurt.
Yeah, I'm just reading the comments in the chat room. You guys make me laugh. Clint, lovely to see you here. Colonel, been quoted already. Yes, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And Rob's in here saying, did he prepare it too? Yes, I did a little bit of preparation today in this one. So this is really, really interesting because there's a big conference going here at the moment, and Tony Roberts is actually going to be one of the key people running the conference. It's going to be happening in about 3 days' time. We've actually done 2 Trustpilot reviews to the conference domain name, which means they would be aware that their major sponsor is in the spotlight by the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. So I will tell you about the sponsor. When I first saw this, when I started investigating this and I was told that these people are sponsoring an event, I went and looked and had the event, because normally what myself and the Avengers do is we call up the event and say, do you realize you're hosting a scam event? And then I realized that that wasn't a scam event. It's actually a legitimate business event, and they're the major sponsor. And we've seen a lot of our scam companies actually sponsoring events lately, which is really an eye-opener. So I was really surprised when Tony Roberts popped up. I thought, I don't want to be sued by Tony Roberts. I want to be sued by this guy.
I read the contract so you don't have to. What it says, and what their site conveniently leaves out, is why I'm publishing this expose.
Yeah, and this is really cool. This is exactly what the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger wants to do. I want to sit here and do reviews on opportunities. I want to highlight to you guys the red flags. And this one here really did take the cake, because this has everything. It's already got a history. There's people who go on these jets and fly around and then throw $300,000-$400,000 into the scheme because they think it's too good to be true and they want to be part of it. And you just see the money coming in with no proof. But let's carry on. Let's not lose
The
focus.
agreement they don't want you to read, thanks to our informant. I reviewed Goliath's joint venture agreement. It reads like it was written to seduce with one hand and protect the house with the other. On the one hand, it waves away regulation.
Yes. So the House of Cards. Listen to this.
This agreement is not an investment product, investment offering, investment advice, or a security in any way whatsoever.
You Crypto G and Rob having a conversation in the chat room there. Yeah, so here we are offering a investment product and then claiming that it's not an investment product.
On the other hand, it sets out what any normal person would recognize as an investment with fixed returns and a capital guarantee.
Yeah, this blog speaks for itself, so I'm just going to let it read.
Partner shall contribute not less than $100,000 USD, 3% on contributions, between $100,000 and $499,000, 4% for any contributions over $500,000. Goliath hereby guarantees the return of principal. This guarantee is absolute and binding. Then,
wow. I keep thinking of this. $100,000. Yeah, but yeah, 100. Well, anyway, $100,000, $100,000, not $1 million. But yeah, so there you go. If you just got a hundy, throw it down on the table. Okay, then it comes the escape hatch. So here's a statement in their own contract, not my words. This is just their contract. It's guaranteeing the return of principal. Guaranteeing the return of principal. This guarantee is absolutely binding. And then it says,
Goliath may delay withdrawals for up to 90 days due to suspicious activity, system hacks, or exchange delays. Upon termination, the partner shall no longer have the right to receive any profits or rewards. Goliath makes no representations, warranties, or guarantees as to the success of any venture and a partner's right to receive any profits.
How does that work? How can you have that in the same contract? So that was quite funny. So that's what I look at that as, and I'm thinking, well, that's a great. That means that they have 90 days to leave the planet and go and live with Elon Musk and Mars before you realize that you've been scammed.
Read those lines together. They promise the impossible, fixed monthly profits and guaranteed principal, while disclaiming accountability when it matters. Heads, they win. Tails, you lose. This is the cornerstone of the whole story. and it's written in their own paperwork.
I know, I didn't even need to investigate this one. I mean, it's so ridiculous. And then here we got our LinkedIn friend over here telling me that it's just speculation. I mean, read the contract you've signed. The other interesting thing is, hey, look, you quoted here, Rob. This is Rob saying.
Extraordinary claims, zero proof.
Well, it's just about what Rob says. Yeah, now this is the thing, and this is the part that no one ever seems to question because they get intimidated by a guy with a jet paying the bill at nice villas on a nice cruise ship. Everyone's playing music, but he's using your money to do it. And then all of a sudden they have zero proof. But you're not allowed to ask that question because you're intimidated by these people. That's how it works. So you need to get some balls and go to this guy who's claiming these extraordinary claims and ask him to show how the money is coming in. Because at the moment, it seems like that the old investors are getting paid by the new investors' money, which is just crazy. But hey, it's just speculation.
Goliath hangs its legitimacy on 3 pillars: liquidity pools, Bitcoin mining, and 2 active projects, Medieval Empires and Castor, plus a lot of loose talk about navigating the Nasdaq for blockchain stocks. On paper it sounds impressive. In practice, there's no evidence behind any of it.
Oh, look, guys, this is bullshit. I'm currently investing in probably about 200 different scams. This is just another one. And they say Danny calls everything a scam. Well, everything I investigate is because it's been labeled a scam. So, yeah, I do call everything a scam. But, hey, I'm open-minded. I've already got silence that was deafening from the owner of this company. No one wants to prove that they can make all this money, and they've discovered a new way they've reinvented the wheel on how to make money.
If you actually operate liquidity pools, you can show it in seconds. Contract addresses, LP token holdings, on-chain wallet history, fee revenue, even a simple dashboard. Goliath publishes none of that. No pool IDs, no wallet addresses, no DEX analytics, no third-party verification, just definitions and marketing copy.
I was speaking to somebody last night and they said they're not a blockchain analyst or expert or whatever. And I said, oh, I've got one, Crypto G. He will tell us whether it smells fishy or not. He's very good. So if you do have any wallet addresses or anything linked to this company, we know they're probably going to be using Binance because it's hard for us to investigate on Binance. But we want that intel. We want you, if you're sitting here and you've handed over $100,000 and you've been given a wallet address to put the money in. Hello, that sounds a bit scary all in itself. Give us that wallet address. Let us track where the money's gone. Like the old-fashioned investigators, that's what you do. Follow the money. We follow the crypto. We go on the blockchain. We see all the money going in, and then we see it all going out. Let us do that for you. So if you think we're just speculating, we have got wallet addresses. Give it to us and we'll follow it as much as we can and tell you where your money's gone. But don't ask us for your money back because that's always a bit of a sad one.
If you actually run Bitcoin mining, you talk in numbers: hash rate, PHS, fleet mix, for example, S19s, M30s, kilowatt pricing, hosting sites, PPAs, pool statements, mined coin addresses, credible miners show racks, facility photos, payout logs. Goliath's mining page reads like a Wikipedia primer, all theory, zero telemetry.
Whoa, that was a mouthful. I'm starting to use some big words myself on my blogs. Look at me now, look at me.
And those active projects, Medieval Empires and Castor, are presented as if they are Goliath-led. There's no reciprocal acknowledgement on official channels, no filings, no SAFTs, no cap table breadcrumbs. Until the other side names you back, it's just borrowed branding.
I mean, these people must wake up in the morning, do a snort of cocaine and go, hey, we're here to live another day. Who can we scam? Let's get some money in and let's go fly around the world and pretend we're rich until we get caught. That's what they must do. I just don't understand how they can actually do this because they get that momentum going and they can lie without blinking while they're talking to you. I don't know. How do these guys get these things off the ground? Maybe I should get them to promote my YouTube channel. And that would be a fantastic time to say to you guys, if you wouldn't mind making sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. There's going to be a lovely box that pops up about now. Click, click. And every time you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I get Sadie to come and clean your screen for you. It's all part of my thing. So, Sadie, can you please clean the screen? There she is. Sadie. She does a lovely job. Oh, she's lovely. Get behind it, under there you go. Good on you. All right, so that's that done. That was awesome. So I don't know if I've read that paragraph because they're all excited about Sadie the
The
cleaning
Nasdaq
lady.
spiel is the same story. If you're selecting and advising on public equities, you either hold the registrations and publish research notes with disclosures, or you don't. Goliath talks like an allocator but disclaims like a promoter. Big claims without data and accomplishments. They are theatre.
Yeah, it's theatre, guys. I mean, I don't want to be the dream stealer because that's what I get called. I get called all sorts of names, and I'm just trying to say, ask the questions. If you don't get the answer, draw your own conclusion. If you do get the answer, share it with me. Because why shouldn't I be able to ask those questions and get those answers? Why do you judge everything that you are doing on the fact that you are getting paid as our message from LinkedIn said? The guy literally said he didn't even spell it properly. He couldn't. I had to miss out of the end. Listen to this.
I've been in this fund for a year. They never missed a payment and even took out a large amount of principal a few months ago with zero issues. Have you found anyone that has been scammed or just speculating?
Yeah, I mean, I just love it. I actually want to make a meme out of that statement. I've been getting money. So if you don't know how it works, all these Ponzi schemes are the same. They let you test the waters. But if you think about it, add up your principal. Now, this is the argument that we have every day. I put 100,000 in and I get paid every month. And I also took out a large part of my $100,000 and it got back to me. And now I'm convinced it's real and it's paying me every month. So I'm just going to put the whole lot. I'm going to get more. I'm going to mortgage my house, my mum's house, my friend's house, my wife's cat and dog. And I'm going to put it all in because this must be. But no one ever says I've got more money out than I've got in. Unless that same person is actually referring other people into it. And then they use the other people's money to keep paying you because you're a good guy, because you've introduced new people into it. And then mathematically, there's only so many, I don't even know I should say this, but there's only so many stupid people on the planet. It's called, it's just ridiculous. So let's have a listen. We've got a little bit of media. They've got some media. So because they're in the media, it gives it more authenticity. So
Paid credibility and phantom executives when a company can't prove operations. The next move is manufactured authority, buy visibility, rent prestige, and pad the team page. Goliath points proudly to media coverage, but a closer look shows the pattern.
Queen of Karma and Jelly Snack are in the house. Nice to see you. I woke up this morning, I was listening to Queen of Karma's YouTube channel, and she was talking about cults, and I was thinking it would be good for us to start our own religion. If you were going to start your own religion, like, what would you call it? And what would be your thing? Like, would it be, don't do blood transfusions? Or, I know I had this debate. I'm thinking if I was just, I've always said if Apple started up a religion, I would join because I love technology. But, yeah, and that's what Queen of Karma was talking about this morning. And if you haven't noticed, if you go to my blog, which you'll see here, we'll see that on the homepage of my website, currently getting another denial server attack on my website. I've spent the last 10 days working on the making sure my website is bulletproof. So at the moment, it's protected by Google Project Shield, which can handle, I think it's 100,000 attacks a second, which means I'm okay. But just a pain that when you go to my website, you have to wait 5 seconds and prove you're human. But that's the price of doing business. Anyway, if you go to my blog section, you'll see that Queen of Karma has actually posted quite a few blogs, and she's like my assistant. Some people have mistaken her as my girlfriend, but my current girlfriend's getting a bit jealous about that, so we'll have a secret relationship. But you'll see lots of blogs going out, and if you want to, you can go to the bottom of the website and you can subscribe to my newsletters, and you'll get them every 6 weeks. They automatically go out with the latest blogs. But the website's had a major overhaul in the last few months. We've also added a few extra things. Buy me a cup of coffee, of course. Post a review. Yes, I'm after reviews. So go give me one of those if you don't mind. Really seriously, would really appreciate that. I'm going to put that in the chat room just in case you want to go away and do a review now. But I'm doing an experiment with Trustpilot. Trustpilot is a scam, and I'm trying to fool their system. And you should see what I'm using ChatGPT to do at the moment. But it's having some long debates with their technical department. It's been quite fun. Anyway, and also other things, where did my crypto go? We have a form on here where you can actually submit your crypto addresses, and that will go to our tech gurus. Zoom Patrol, where we actually ask you for links to Zoom meetings so we can gate crash other scams that have been promoted via Zoom. And also, if you want to enter the studio, we've got a link there. So there's the whole website's been literally totally revamped. Like, look, when you hold your mouse over things, it all pops up now, and a lot of work's gone into it. I've literally spent 10 days of my life doing it, and I've been up to 5 o'clock in the morning a few times. I've even got a bad eye at the moment. I don't know if you can see it swollen because I haven't had enough sleep. But anyway, back to this interesting thing, paid celebrity and phantom executives. So what we did is these articles that we're about to show you, I'm just going to open them. To me, in my experience, they're not, like I've been in the New York Times, and I've also been featured in a Bloomberg documentary that's had nearly 800,000 people view it. And I get interviewed. Now, the Bloomberg documentary took 10 months of research before they published it. I'm currently working with another investigative journalist who's doing an hour-and-a-half long documentary on why is Ponzi scheme still continuing. That will be published in 2026. So the New York Times, they interviewed me over, I think it was 13 weeks. They interviewed me 4 times before they published my article. Then you've got companies like this guy here who claims that this has given him credibility. But this is not written by an interviewer. This has not been independent journalism. This is a paid advert, in my opinion. You can tell because there's no journalist behind it. So all these articles that they're throwing around like this gives them some credibility is absolutely a joke. The only one that gives them some credibility, perhaps, is usatoday.com. And this was published in 2023, 20 entrepreneurs who are building empires in 2023. And you go all the way to the bottom of this, and you'll find our friend, the CEO, in here somewhere. But you can, oh, Tony, look at that. Tony Roberts is in there. But he is in there somewhere. I can't even find him now. Not him, not her, not her, not him, not her, not him. No, not him. Not him, not him. There he is, Christopher. Is it Diego? How do you say it?
Christopher Delgado.
Delgado. So there he is, the man. He might be Murphy, I don't know. Probably going to find out soon. Anyway, let's listen to what they said 2 years ago about this guy.
Chris Delgado is a trailblazing entrepreneur whose accolades include 2 successful business exits, a Canadian corp IPO, and leading the development of blockchain technology in the USA, Europe, and the UAE. Chris Delgado currently oversees his 2 corporations, Goliath International Corp and Goliath Ventures, which focus directly on early-stage developing companies, blockchain innovation, crypto mining, and crypto liquidity pools. Besides running 2 successful international corporations, Chris Delgado is also deeply passionate about his charitable foundation, Orlando Giving, which impacts his local community on a large scale. Moreover, he also funds many organizations that support cancer research for children, homeless veterans, and foster children. Community, support, engagement. These 3 principles drive a global mission at Goliath. We believe in not only supporting our employees but also in making a positive impact in the communities we do business in, says Chris.
Wow, well, it sounds like you have no problems, giving us some evidence on how he's making all this money. And to you, Chris, heart goes out to you, mate, especially with the charity stuff. Good on you. That's awesome, man. So looking forward to hearing more about you. And I do wonder why you haven't emailed me back. Perhaps I'm nobody in your world. Maybe I should have get my jet and come over and see you. Anyway, so here's some more placements, articles, which we'll go through in a minute. I'm not going to read them all. I think in a minute. But at the moment, everything's happening. There's success oozing out his ears. But these articles are not journalist interviews. These are what I call paid promotion. And this is one here, which I can't read unless I subscribe. And because I'm a poor YouTuber, I can't actually pay to subscribe. But this is one I know that he, Christopher, has actually been sending to people, telling them this gives them some sort of credibility. So let's go back to the blog and let's summarize those articles I just showed you. And also you can go to the blog, which is in the description of this video, and read this very blog yourself.
CBS42.com. And press Y, not journalism, just a paid press release syndicated on a local TV station's business page. USA Today style feature, glossy advertorial copy dressed up as news. SeedHunter.com puff piece. Delgado positioned as an inspirational investor at a penthouse launch party in Dubai. Orlando Business Journal, by J.C. Carnahan, the only piece that resembles real reporting, but raises the question, did the reporter know about the guaranteed return contracts and escape clauses when profiling Delgado as a blockchain leader?
Yeah, so just going to reiterate something that we've already covered, just in case you missed it. But we've got the contract. Yes, we've got the joint venture agreement, right? And the joint venture agreement says the investment product, investment offering, security is, hold it. Well, not an investment product or an investment offering. Where is that message? And then somewhere along here, it says guarantees the return of principal. That this guarantee is absolute and binding. That's in their own agreement. And then they said that if we feel suspicious about our own platform, we're going to still payments for 90 days. And your rewards will stop. So that's their own words, which I think is kind of funny that they've actually put that in their own contract. So the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger didn't even need to use full OSINT investigations there. We just used their own contract against them. So let's carry on. Now listen to this.
And then there's the 20 entrepreneurs who are building empires in 2023 article on USA Today's contributor content feed. It sits alongside names like Sam Altman and Alex Hormozi. But Delgado's inclusion wasn't the result of investigative reporting. It was a paid placement, sold to anyone willing to buy the slot. To the casual reader, it looks like mainstream validation. In reality, it's advertising disguised as journalism.
Oh, there you go. Cunning plan. If you want to be a Ponzi scheme promoter, these are some of the tactics you'll need to learn. So there must be like a book you can buy, and it's like, want to start a Ponzi scheme? And then it says 101 Ponzi scheme tips and advice. That'd be funny.
Add to this a team page filled with impressive sounding titles and LinkedIn icons. Yet when you click through, only one person even has a LinkedIn footprint, and he doesn't list Goliath anywhere. The rest are shadows, roles are duplicated, director of partner services appears multiple times, family names repeat, and there's no external trail, no conference appearances, no code commits, no publications.
Ooh, sounds a bit suspect.
Credible companies don't need to pay for press, pad executive rosters, or build phantom executive teams. They show their work. Goliath shows only smoke.
Yeah, no mirrors needed. Now, just in case you think I'm nobody, well, I am nobody, but even me, look, I've been in Bloomberg documentary, news.com.au, which is like the biggest media outlet in Australia, Opal India, that was really cool. That was just recently. The Press, which is my local newspaper here in Christchurch where I live, and stuff.co.nz, which is a global, oh no, it's not, it's quite a New Zealand national. The Guardian Australia, ABC News, the New York Times, which I always rave on about, Radio New Zealand. Yes, I've been on the radio a couple of times, so they rang me up and said, I hear that you were in the New York Times, Danny. I said, yes, I was, and they said, commercial break and all that sort of stuff. And obviously my favourite of all times, the bottom of the earth, the Otago Daily Times. So I have been in there, but I didn't have to go out and get those articles. The media saw what I was doing and then said, hey, we want to ask you a few questions so we can publish you a story. That's how real journalism works. You don't need to pay for all your marketing. It's quite good. You don't have to go out there and bribe people to publish your content. You know, the New York Times. I mean, that's where, you know, being in Forbes, like we've got one of our scammers at the moment who's claiming that he was in Forbes magazine, but he was only in the PDF edition, not in the printed edition. And the difference is, in the PDF edition, you can have a sponsored advert. And it wasn't even an interview, but they're claiming that he's been in Forbes India, Chavez. I mean, come on, guys, do better than that. If you're really doing really well and you are like Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, they will come to you and ask you, they want to interview you. Or you'll be on a Bloomberg documentary like me. If you want some tips, let me know.
Lifestyle marketing and investor circles. The other half of the illusion is lifestyle. Delgado positions himself in elite spaces and drops recognizable Orlando names to project legitimacy. Whether those individuals are truly involved or simply being invoked without consent, the tactic is the same. Build confidence by association, not by proof.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, it is in New Zealand. I don't know if it's worldwide, but it is. Name dropping is great. It's called passing off. Like, you know, this seminar or conference that he's sponsoring. This is incredible, you know.
Meanwhile, Delgado is in the process of buying an $8.5 million house inside Isleworth, one of Florida's most exclusive neighborhoods. Even the Hoa has reportedly been warned about his activities, yet the deal still appears to be moving forward. Has proper due diligence been done, or has the lifestyle marketing worked its magic?
Yeah, and we did get some information just before we went live. I'm just saying live now, and basically there is some really interesting stuff happening, which I can't tell you. It's funny, I get a lot of whistleblowers telling me a whole lot of really cool stuff, and then they go, "You can't tell anyone." I go, but they go, "No, I don't want to be. I know this is not right. I want to tell you stuff, but I can't let you tell it to anyone else." And you go, "Okay, I'll just put it in my brain." It's like imagine an empty room, not a padded cell, and the ping pong ball goes in there at 200 miles an hour. It goes bing, 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 bing. That's what it's like when people give me intel and then tell me I can't use it because it will expose them. But we have got some amazing whistleblowers, and that really makes my job exciting because I get some really cool intel that I can put in my database, and if it all goes pear-shaped, then I don't know if you've seen my database, but this is a typical. If I go to Chris, got a wee profile here on Chris. Now this database can be accessed by journalists, and it can be accessed by 6 different countries at the moment who are government agents. So a lot of the big government agents that go after scams, they can go to my database, go to my in here. You can see. So I'll give you an example. So let's use Chris as an example, right? So hi Christopher, I should say, NZ not NZ, US. So Chris is in the US. So now I go back to persons of interest, and I can put Chris in America and how he's in America. So here he is. And now these are all the American people that I've got databases on. So these are all other people I've seen promoting Ponzi schemes and scams. And every single one of those are people that I see in Zoom meetings, literally. And that's just for America. So let's say the IRS, Homeland Security, and Department of Justice, they may have access to that folder in America because they can't go. And then I'm currently interviewing all these people. So then if we went and we picked on Chris, for example, hello, Chris, and then we go Ponzi schemes and scams. This is the first Ponzi scheme and scam, even though it's his own company that I've seen. That's what I'm calling it. It's just my opinion, but you do your own due diligence. I click on here, and now we've got, some information. We've got screenshots, and we've also got the story behind it. The story behind it is where I give that to the right people who might be doing an investigation. So just last night, with this information, I actually passed it on to a police officer in Australia, ex-police officer, now private investigator, Ken Gamble. And I said, can you please add this into your database because it may link to other companies who are claiming to do the same things. Or when he investigates scams, or people who have lost money. Like, for example, I went to a conference in Australia, and it's called the Global Financial Crime Summit. I never remember that, 2024. And I went there, and there's 150 other delegates from around the world that fight crimes like me. And why I'm telling this story is there was a guy there who, there might be a Netflix documentary coming out about it. He lost $1.8 million. And Ken Gamble actually managed to track that money down, found the person, they got him arrested, put it in a Filipino prison. And the deal was he was going to die in the prison in the heat, or he could give the money that was in his bank account to the person he scammed, which was actually 2.2 million. So they transferred after 5 days of being in prison, the guy thought he was going to die, even though he wanted to go to court and defend himself, decided it would be a better opportunity to just give the money over that was in his bank account to the guy that he had scammed 1.8 million out of, and he got 2.2 million. And then they found out that this guy that had scammed him was part of a syndicate of 8 other guys. And between the 8 other guys, they had scammed $100 million of mum and dad investors. And then all those guys had to leave the Philippines where they were operating out of. So, these guys they were day traders. So when I see intel that may help people like Ken, it helps connect the dots. And that's what we're always doing. So we're more than just YouTubing. We're building a database that can be accessed by people. And I've been talking too much now. So anyway, just thought I'd investigate parties. All right, so let's carry on. Yep, no noise.
The performance doesn't end there. Delgado is often seen traveling with socialite Shayla Pert Farnsworth, whose son works as his executive assistant. Farnsworth hosts lavish investor parties and flaunts private jet trips on social media, projecting the image of limitless wealth and success.
Well, you got to look like you're successful, don't you? Because if I was talking to you and I'm going, hey mate, can you give me $1 million? I'll invest it in something and I'll promise you that I'll give you 3 or maybe 4% return per month. What would you say? Danny, we know you ain't got no knowledge of building making money on the internet. We don't trust you. But if I've got a jet, a flash house, wear a nice suit, talk the talk, have flashy people walking around me all the time, throw lavish parties, and I said that you would have a different point of view.
But peel back the curtain and the story looks very different. Court records tie Farnsworth to lawsuits and financial judgments linked to companies she's involved with, including Nautilus Earth Management, running well into the 7 figures. Most recently she faced a $180,000 judgment involving her home, where the builder wasn't paid and foreclosure was sought.
Well, that sucks, man. I used to be a painter and a decorator, finished the job, and then you'd give them the bill and they'd sit there and take 3 weeks, 4 weeks to pay it. So don't do that to tradies.
This is classic Ponzi theater. Surround yourself with jets, mansions, and familiar names, and most people stop asking hard questions. The illusion of success becomes the sales pitch, while the contract quietly gives Delgado the power to freeze or erase investor money.
Yeah, so it's by association, isn't it, really? You just got to make sure you're around the big people. That's why we'll be sponsoring this event that's happening in 3 or 4 days' time. Tony Roberts is going to be there. And he's going to have his logo on the wall. I can't get over that, man.
Smoke and mirrors on the website. Their site looks polished at first glance, until you start checking anything that should be verifiable. The investments, they claim 3 main lanes.
Yeah, so they do have 3 main lanes, and I don't even know why I haven't got the website up yet. Oh, there it is there. It's coming up. So we will have a look at that in a minute. Crypto G's just finished doing a 4-year investigation on the money, and he said the USDC address feeds through to Coinbase, and the trail ends there. So we can't find anything juicy about that that wallet address that we've got. But anyway, if you do look at the website and you come to this beautiful glitzy website, I've just got to show you the About Us section because that was really funny. So here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people, right? And you can basically, if you right clicked on any of those images and went Google search, normally if somebody's got a digital footprint, you will find that. So that one did go through to, well, interesting enough, this person's photo is on their LinkedIn. So that's one I'll give them. And this one here, let's have a look. We'll just go like that. Okay, so this one here is Rocket Search, not the same guy. So that second photo you're looking at there, we'll have to narrow it down a little bit. Only used on the website. Next one, like that. Oh, and that goes through to his LinkedIn as well. Well, that was funny because when I did that, so we'll just keep doing that. So these, this is quite fun now. So this one, no digital footprint, no digital footprint, no digital footprint. And now what we're going to do actually, so since we had those ones, we'll do a little bit of investigation. So I think that one, and that one, when we open them up, they don't actually go through. Yeah, that's right. So even though that photo is used, well, we found that. Let's have a look. I want to go investigate this now. So we're going to go, let's go investigate this guy here. I don't even know who this guy is. We're going to go Google search. Right, found the photo. And now we're going to go look at his name. His name is Michael. Same name, so that's a good start. LinkedIn. Let's see if this guy. Director. There he is. So he's the director. Now, I'm not, I can tell you at a glance that this is not right. For example, he's got 484 connections, which is nobody. I have 11,000 connections. I am not anybody. I don't have the wealth and the glitz and the glamour. If I go to the contact information, it doesn't have any contact information there. So they haven't. So at a glance, just looking at this here, he has filled out some of his LinkedIn profile. He's got 7 endorsements. So even if this is a real person, which I believe it's just a LinkedIn profile that somebody's hijacked and rebranded it and then changed a few things. This is not a proactive person. So if I went to, let's go to activity, there's activity. 7 years ago, and this is exactly what I would expect to see if I was looking at a scam. So 7 years ago, Michael, whose company has decided to feature the fact that he's got a LinkedIn profile, was the last time he ever engaged on his LinkedIn. 7 years ago was the last time he used. So, I don't use LinkedIn very much. Well, you're executives, mates. So let's have a look at this guy, Stephen Davis, and he's meant to be the executive. So no digital footprint. This guy here looks smiling like a Cheshire cat, and he's got a LinkedIn profile. So let's have a look at that, and let's go into this one, and let's see if there's a similar trait here. There he is there. So there we go. So he's got 218 connections. That's nobody. No background image. Hasn't filled it out. Partner relations at Goliath Ventures Inc. Co-founder and co-host. So here's the co-founder, co-host, and he's got 218 connections. I have literally got 100 times more. Is that right? I've got a lot more. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is here. And the last time he did any activity, let's have a look. Activity, 6 days ago. Oh, so the 6 days ago, they were doing the Vault, the conference. They were promoting the conference. So let's like that. Let's see. And I'm going to put the link to, what's happened here? Something went wrong. We've lost one of our chat windows. I'm just going to put the link to the video in here and see whether they like that. Oh, that's what you do when you're Danny. And let's go to David and let's see if we can actually connect with him. We'll add a note and we'll put, there we go, note, send that off to him. Let's see if he actually acknowledges. So we have actually, remember, we've reached out to these guys. So that's just a little bit of, when you're looking at these websites and you're starting to do a bit of a breakdown. The other exciting thing is we were talking about their accomplishments and what we do. So when you click on what we do, here's 3 things that they do to generate people such high returns on the investment. Bitcoin mining, okay, liquidity pools, and blockchain technology. So those 3 things there are guaranteed income streams. And guaranteed. Oh my God. So let's have a look at these 3 investment opportunities to see what they are claiming. Because this is how stupid it gets.
The investments, they claim 3 main lanes. Liquidity pools, no pool addresses, no wallet history, no on-chain proof. Any legit DeFi operator can show positions in seconds. Goliath shows none. Bitcoin mining, pages of generic explainer text, CPU versus GPU versus ASIC, but no hashrate, no facility photos, no power contracts, no mined coin addresses, active projects medieval empires, Castor, listed as if they are Goliath-led. We found no reciprocal acknowledgement on the project's official channels, and no evidence of ownership or funding, just Goliath's claim on Goliath's site.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't this, okay, we get paid every month. So it must be real. Ponzi schemes. Bernie made off with a lot of people's money. I always say that. So look at the website, guys. This is the proof. This website. So as I said, they haven't even finished off their, if they're about their team pages, all their LinkedIn profiles don't link through to the people. And when they do link through to their people, these are not what I would expect to see. These are just, like, look at this lady here, Lee Ann Howie. Okay. So we just right click on her face. I just love doing this. This is called Osint. Search with Google Lens. Okay. Let's see. And she's no digital footprint. No, that photo that's been taken must be brand new, even though the website, we've used archive.org and gone back and found that there's nothing special about these people. I would love, Anne, if you're listening to me, ring me up and make contact, because I can't find anything else about you. I don't have Facebook because they banned me. Apparently, I'm being reported as a scammer when I was reporting scams. So, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. What else do you want me to say? I'm not, look, if I've got it wrong, Christopher, reach out to me and put me, tell me what I'm wrong with. Don't threaten me, because what normally happens, I get these legal threats from these people saying defamation, but I go back and I ask them for proof and I get crickets. On their case, the silence was deafening.
The charity numbers. One page says $1 million last year, $4 million since 2019. Another says $500,000 in 2023, $2 million since inception. Can both be true? Maybe. Should a trustworthy firm keep its own totals consistent? Absolutely.
Yeah, so what is it? I mean, you're making extraordinary claims that require extraordinary evidence. We come here, accomplishments, active process, acquisitions, ventures, impact, frequently asked questions, blog. So let's go to the blog. I didn't even click on the blog. How to reduce the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining. Oh, this is a really good blog. Like the role of renewable energy in the future of Bitcoin mining. I mean, this is just, like, oh my God, the biggest heist ever. Part 1. August. There's something compelling about heist. Americans find a good heist to be entertaining. Oh my God. So even on his own website, look at this. I mean, the biggest heist ever pulled. I think we're reading it in real time. Look at that. You can read all about it. That's a big, meaningful blog. I mean, if you compare that blog with my blog, I mean, what is this? This is just regurgitated content about a heist. And because they're talking about heist, they're not running a heist. That's what you're meant to believe, kids. Okay, fine print.
The fine print. Their privacy policy quietly lists a residential-style Apaka, Florida address, while the splashy pages trumpet Class A offices and a global footprint. The branding says Empire. The boilerplate says template.
Oh, yeah. Look, whenever you're going to get on a website like this, you just go to the bottom, right? And you go down to their privacy policy. Always read the fine print. And then chuck it into ChatGPT and ask it to highlight all the red flags. You may be surprised. It's just, it's the same shit, different day. This is no different. There's no proof. I mean, all I'm asking for is proof. And I've already sent a lovely email off to Christopher. And I've sent it to the cell phone number that was on the website, which you could send it to via, would you believe, the cell phone number that's on the website, you can use iMessage. So that's what I did. Now, this is shocking. And this actually made me sort of think, oh, do I want to go after Tony Roberts? Because I'm sure Tony Roberts just takes money from sponsors. And I don't think he would have verified who this company is. I just think it's really strange that companies will take sponsorship money and maybe don't research who the money or where the money is coming from. And I think there needs to be a turning point where people actually start to be accountable for who they have sponsor their events. Because I'm pretty sure after they read my Trustpilot review, because we will take Trustpilot with a grain of salt, they will probably think, who is this guy, Christopher? And was it a good idea letting him sponsor our event with 12,000 business people? Let's have a listen.
Buying legitimacy at the Vault 2025. Now the part that will lure fresh victims. Goliath Ventures is billed as a title sponsor of the Vault 2025 conference in Orlando, Patrick Bet David's marquee event with 12,000 plus founders and CEOs.
Yeah, so that's going to give them some credibility.
Sponsorship at that level doesn't come from passive yield. It comes from big checks. And in my experience, title sponsorships are the perfect tool for credibility laundering. Stand on a stage near real operators, get your logo on the big screen, and let proximity do the selling. To an attendee, it feels like vetting. It isn't.
Oh, I just think of Mr. Madoff.
If you're headed to Vault, proximity is not due diligence. Ask for on-chain addresses, audited statements, real team bios, real operations, not selfies and stage time.
Yeah, crazy. So this is the event that I'm talking about. It's going to be happening. It is now the 4th. And I think this was going to happen in 3 days, 19 hours time. But look at the people that are going to be here. Even Dr. Phil might be there. Who knows? But you can go there. So I did think about reaching out. So you can go there as a general ticket, $500, $1,500, 3.5. Get the whole kahuna package, $9,000. And look, the exclusive $17,000 package, all gone. But look, here's the stage. Now, Rob actually went to a Tony Robbins event and he walked over hot corals and everything. So even Robert Kiyosaki is going to be there. One of my favorites, The Rock. And Mike Tyson's going to be there. Tom Brady, I can't read his name, but he must be somebody famous. And can't think about all these guys here are now going to be at this conference. And the major sponsor, well, I think it's the major sponsor, is going to be this this guy who potentially, I don't know how to say. See, here we are here, title sponsor. Look at that. Title sponsor. So there you go. It must be real. So I'm not saying he's not real. I just reckon that you need to do your own due diligence and ask those questions. Let's look for the evidence. That's all we want. We want proof that you're not running a Ponzi scheme. Show us your data. No doubt you have financial statements that you must show your, I don't know, your investors. Might be a good time to do that now.
The human cost of the circus. I hear this every week. I'll be smart, get in, get my 4% a month, and get out. Here's how it actually plays out. You see early payouts, often funded by newer deposits. You increase your stake. You introduce friends and family because you want them to benefit too. Then withdrawals slow. Then they temporarily pause to investigate activity for up to 90 days. Remember that clause.
Sorry.
Then they are gone, and you've become part of the sales funnel that hurt people you care about.
Oh, it's terrible when you're dyslexic. I was reading that as it was listening to it, and my brain says you'll become part of the sales funeral. And then I realise it's funnel. Funnel and funeral for some reason. How do you spell funeral? Hold it. Funeral. Funeral. It's similar. Funnel, funeral, fun. No, it's a wee bit different. No, it is a wee bit different. So it could be a sales funeral, but I think it's meant to be funnel. So yes, you're in the marketing. You're just being marketed to. And you're the glitz and the glamour. Oh, God, you can't make this shit up.
If you recruit into something that guarantees returns and pays referrals, you're not just taking risk, you're creating it for others.
Yeah, it's like I've just walked off a cliff, and if you come with me, we'll stop at the bottom suddenly. Oh, please, guys. I mean, I do this as sort of a bit of tongue-in-cheek, but you can't do what I do with a serious face, because once you've invested so many of these Ponzi schemes and scams, I mean, all I want is proof. All I want is proof, Christopher. Show us how you're making all this money. You know, because you're a friggin' legend. You should run for president of the United States. You might be able to make some money for the country. If you can generate 3 or 4% return and guarantee it, unless you haven't been struck for fraud, and then we're going to slow it down for 90 days.
Asking for
Susie.
a right of reply fairness
Hello, Susie.
matters. I've written to Chris Delgado, CEO of Goliath Ventures, inviting a full response to specific questions.
I said, hello, Chris. It's your mate, the crypto Ponzi scheme avenger. Got a few questions about your little business opportunity here. Would you mind answering them for you? So this is what I asked Christopher for. Are you ready? I will do one at a time. It's more exciting. Here we go.
Proof of actual liquidity pool positions, mining operations, or portfolio holdings, on-chain, audited, or independently attested.
Brilliant. Next thing, we'll see a nice picture of, what's that one? Bit Harvest? Bit Harvest. They've got this beautiful server room that they keep showing everyone over and over and over again. Show us one of those. It'd be nice. That's what we want to see. Take us for a walk through your offices with your camera and show me the people that are working for you in the office. Introduce me. All those people in that company. So you got 16 people on your website, the team, and let's get this right. The team of 16 people are making millions of dollars for people. That's what you're claiming. Come on, mate. Hey, come pick me up, take me for a ride in your jet, but I don't want the door to open in mid-flight over the Tasman Sea and throw me out. But I wouldn't mind a flight. Come see me in your Learjet. Hey, come to New Zealand, and we'll meet in an undisclosed location, and we'll do a podcast together, YouTube-style podcast. It'll be great. Great. You can tell me how it all works and show me all the evidence and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Because as our LinkedIn user said, are you just speculating? I'm asking the questions you should have asked before you put your money in, mate.
While the contract guarantees principal and fixed monthly payouts, while also disclaiming any right to profits.
That's not called OSINT. research, open source intelligence. That is because your contract has its own inconsistencies.
Whether their media features are paid placements, and why they are presented as independent recognition.
Yeah. You know, search for the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger, and I think it was on November the 19th, 2023, or maybe 2, I can't remember. Actually, when was that article? Hello? Let's go. The crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. You have to say it. The crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. And you search for that because I didn't. And then Amazon Music comes up first. New York Times. Oh, November the 11th, not 19th. There I am, finger up the nose. And if you want to, you can subscribe. I think you can carry on without actually having to subscribe now. I think, how do you do it? But anyway, there's a full-page feature about Danny DeHeck's quest to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. There you go. Here's my article. Look at that. Last year, Danny DeHeck was a social media guru. Badly in need of social media guru. What? I don't know. Anyway, it's all pretty good. Oh, look, there's my own products on my own thing. But you come down here. There I am. That's me in my studio. Come down here. That's my keyboard. Look, I've even got buttons on here. News to hand. That's what I'm using right now. What else have I got? Ponzi song. Salutations, Ponzi schemer. All those sort of words. I've got them all on my fingertip. The one I do like the most, though, is Cuckoo. Oh, and I love the Squid Games. That's quite cool. And I went after a guy once who was at the age of 23. Was it 29? Oh, at the age of 23, he raised $29,000 on a Kickstarter campaign, and he went hunting for live dinosaurs to go hunting for live dinosaurs on the Conga. And you might, so I had this one. Dinosaur noises. That guy tried to sue me in the New Zealand High Court for $3.8 million and lost. After 3 months, cost me $33,600. My lawyers, the judge, the High Court judge, said that we spent too much money defending ourselves on a New Zealand landmark case. And they awarded us $27,500 of the cost. And then Legal Aid, who was paying my bills in New Zealand, contacted me asking me if I knew the address of the scammer so they could send them a bill for the fees that they occurred when they were just doing a gag writ. That's what happens, guys. But that was why I had that sound on there. But hey, look, there's Mr. H. Mr. H, he's so cool. You come through here a little bit more, and there's Keith Williams. Well, Keith Williams on the 19th of April 2024, he died. He had stage 4 cancer, stage 5 cancer. He was throwing his 60th birthday bash, and I was about to do a video all about him. And it was actually a farewell party for Keith Williams, who'd got cancer. It's called Karma. And in that video, there's a guy called Mike Lucas who lost $25,000. That was his life savings. He was bedridden, and he thought that he would get $75,000 if he listened to Keith, put his money in there. He contacted me. I told the story to the New York Times, and the rest was history. But that's what real journalism is all about. So you don't need these paid placements. And the third one.
Verification of the leadership team's employment and roles beyond the Goliath website.
Yeah, come on. The LinkedIn profiles don't stack up, mate. They don't even click through to the LinkedIn profiles. And if you've got big-time CEOs, EOs, PEOs, DEOs, GEOs, NEOs, LEOs, and BOs, they should all have at least a more credible digital footprint, especially if you're promoting them on. If you've got your website and you've got 16 people on your website and you've got a button that goes through to their LinkedIn profile, then you need to complete that button, and then we can go through and check out their LinkedIn profiles. And when you see people on your page, and we do find them on LinkedIn, and they haven't updated their LinkedIn or done any posts for 7 years, normally not a good look. Just saying. My verdict. Well, you probably know what my verdict is, but let's have a go. Let's have a go.
What Goliath says: elite partners, liquidity pools, mining, philanthropy, global leadership, title sponsor, game-changing impact.
Oh, yes. Wow, that's just so cool. Liquidity pools, mining, philanthropy, global leadership. Oh, this company is the company I want to be part of. This is the future of the world. This is how it's going to happen, guys. Everyone's going to listen to Christopher. Remember, use archive.org, go through his website, go back to the history. This is not This is not Bill Gates. This is not Elon Musk. Look, would Elon Musk run an investment opportunity like this? Would he? Why would he? Why wouldn't he? I'm not really an Elon Musk fan, even though I were once. I'm on the fence. But why wouldn't Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs when he was alive, Keith Williams, why wouldn't they run a scheme like this? Why do we need glitz and glamour, airlines, parties on yachts, luxury villas? Why would we need to have that stuff to convince you to hand over your money? Why wouldn't we be able to find proof? Why can't we validify the information, the claims? Extraordinary claims take extraordinary evidence. There's no evidence. There's none. You're full of smoke and mirrors, mate.
What Goliath shows: a contract that promises the impossible and protects the house, a website of claims without proof, paid publicity in place of journalism, phantom executives, and a sponsorship strategy aimed at fresh pockets.
Yes, everybody that's investing hasn't invested with this guy before, eh? New investors pay the old investors. If you're lucky to be at the front of the bus, you might be okay. You might get your principal back. But if you're getting on the bus now and you found this video, hey, feel free to support me for saving you millions of dollars. In fact, a 10% cut would be only fair. I'll share it evenly with the other Avengers. But look at this. Here's the guy, the man of the moment, and there's his house of cards, and it's collapsing. That's why we've used House of Cards. House of Cards also resemble to me casinos. Are you willing to, gamble your money? Because when I get that phone call or I get that email from somebody who tells me about their loss, they normally say they borrowed money. One guy rang me up once, and I'm not shitting you, and he said he lost $5 million. And I said, $5 million? Where'd you get the money from, mate? He said, well, I'm part of a big family. I used to work on Wall Street. I understand money. So the family trusted me in a family investment. 113 people, his family, all put in a little bit of money, over 5 million. He said it was well over 5 million. And he invested it in Hyperverse. He thought that in 600 days, he would turn the family's money into $15 million. In fact, he did turn it to 15,000 because I think he tried to get $32,000 off the platform, and he finished up for some reason. I don't know why. He said he only got 1,500 back. I've got that recording. One day I might dig it out. But this guy had lost all the money, and then the family were going after his house, which was only worth like 700,000 or something. But does it sound too good to be true? It's because it is. It doesn't look like a technology company executing sophisticated strategies. It looks like a marketing machine designed to pull deposits. My mission is simple. I am Danny DeHeck. I am the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. Got that by a real journalist in the New York Times, nicknamed me that. Liked it, stuck, kept it. They profiled me. I love it. And I'm here to name and shame anyone running or even promoting. Are you promoting this new opportunity? Are you telling your friends about it? Are you getting some sort of commission perhaps for referring your friends that you won't have for much longer? Just like that guy, his family, 113 people now. For the rest of his life, the family are going to look at him and think, you didn't understand money. Because he used to work on Wall Street, this guy. And I said, did you really think that was feasible, that you were going to get, 3 times your return in your investment in 600 days? And then he wouldn't have taken his money out. He would have said to those guys, let's be mega rich. Let's put 15 million and let's see what happens in 600 days from there. And that's what they did. But that particular company stole $1.9 billion from mum and dad investors. I always say it was 4 billion because my math is different than the people who are charging Sam Lee in connection to that scam, that particular scam. Based on the documents I've reviewed and the claims they can't substantiate, Goliath Ventures Inc. deserves that spotlight. You guys, I'm calling you out. I'm calling it bullshit. You can't do what you're claiming. I'm calling you bullshit, mate. Christopher, you're full of shit. Go take your Learjet and land it where the sun, I don't know. I think you get the idea.
If you've been approached, walk away. If you're already in, stop recruiting and start documenting everything. And if you're on a stage or hosting an event, do your due diligence. Your audience is trusting you with more than their ticket money.
Yeah. Hey, look, guys, we've got a few good things here you can do. That was my review. This is a sponsored review. So sponsor a review, and you click on sponsor review. It will take you through to Koha, which is for a couple $100. I will spend the time and energy. This review was generously supported by somebody who was concerned about their friends, and they wanted me to do a review. I did a video. I literally spent 2 nights up to 4 or 5 in the morning working on this blog to help save you. So if you want to support me in any which way or form, it'd be great. And I've even got a swollen eye because I haven't had enough sleep lately. So I'm not going to hang around much today, but this is how you sponsor a review. You go to my website and click on that button. The other one too, I really want to press home, is we do really care about you. And if you've had an investment opportunity and you've lost all the money and you want somebody to talk about it, feel free to reach out to me just via email or WhatsApp. All my social media runs along the top of the website. Very approachable, unlike some other YouTubers. We're not just exposing scams, we're helping people that have been scammed. We're not going to help you get your money back. We might help you educate where your money went. And but we've currently gone to town, and on our blog, you will find a lot of information. If you click on bookings, you will see the services that I'm offering. Even every now and again, I get dressed up in a suit. That photo was taken in my offices in Ridges. I have a temporary, oh no, I don't. But you get the idea. And in here, it labels what we're actually doing. You can book us for an express chat. As I said, you can sponsor us for a review, or if you need some support. If some bastard has managed to hook you out of your money and you're sitting there with your razor blades, I shouldn't say that jokingly, then reach out to me, because I'm always got a hearing ear. 2 people in my family died by suicide. And that was because my why is I was brought up in a religious cult, and the elders and the ministerial servants that used to preach to me on the stage used to tell me that all the unrighteous people are going to be destroyed at Armageddon, and all the righteous people were going to inherit the earth. That's what I got told. And then at the age of 23, I had premarital sex. Yes, I said sex. And because they felt I wasn't repentant, after 3 men in a room, the back room of the Kingdom Hall, wanted to know every aspect of what I did at the time to see if I was repentant. They wanted to know everything we did together when we had premarital sex. They felt that I wasn't repentant. So they kicked me out of that religion. I lost everything. I lost my family. I worked with another Jehovah's Witness at the time, so I gave him the business because it was too hard to carry on working. And that's when I got into technology, and had to start over. I spent 4 months of my life going to back to the church or the Kingdom Hall, and I used to sit at the back of the Kingdom Hall, bawling my eyes out for like every meeting, because I was so distraught about what I lost, because everything about that religion was my whole life. I've been brought up, my mum found it when I was about 2 years of age, and it was my everything, my friends, family, my work, and I basically had to start over again. So about 4.5 months after that, they reinstated me and I got back into the religion. And then 6 months later, I did the same thing again, because I was only a young teenager at the time, and got kicked out. Spent another year of my life trying to get back into that religion. Is that your story when you're looking at these Ponzi schemes and scams? Because I used to believe what people told me. I didn't ask those hard questions. I just believed the people who used to tell me these things. It's time to put your big boy trousers on, or pull your britches up, and ask those questions to those people, because these are professional con people. They are taking your money. Now, my story is a bit more unique. My stepfather, Robert DeHeck, when I was 9 years of age, he couldn't live up to the expectations that religion put on him. He was a baptized Jehovah's Witness, and he died by suicide. My sister He was 36 years of age when he died, and he died on the 3rd of December. My sister went off the rails. She was at the age of 14, she started getting involved in drugs, all the things, and she was in a bad way. At the age of 36, the same age of my stepfather, on the 3rd of December, my sister actually died by suicide. She was on 15-minute suicide watch, and she managed to die by suicide. Now, I'm not telling you that for any other reason, but people say that my motive, people go, Danny has lost money to a Ponzi scheme or a scam, and he's bitter. He's a dream stealer. I've never invested in any of these opportunities. Two reasons: I don't have any money, none at all, even though my guy that was trying to scam me for $3.8 million thought that he would use that money to pay off all the people that were going to come after me or help. What I'm saying is, if you don't have any money, you don't have any money to invest, and you're not really vulnerable when it comes to investment opportunities. But maybe that you've had some inheritance money and you're looking for an investment opportunity. That's what they go after. They'll promise you whatever you want to hear. Some of these people get a lot of traction because they've got big balls, and like the guy with the jet, Christopher's got a jet. Ooh, spends $180,000 in a weekend. Ooh, But I've heard that other people have actually been on these trips, invested hundreds of thousands of dollars. Who do you think's just paid for the bill? There's some really good Netflix documentaries out there at the moment where people have run these sort of Ponzi schemes and scams. It's time to wake up. I just, I can't, I can't express that enough. You can't just keep believing what people say. I mean, it could have destroyed my life being part of a religious cult. I'm a better person for it now. I'm not living with regret. I'm not living. I love my life. I love what I do. For the last 10 days, I haven't done a YouTube live. I don't think I have never done that since I've been YouTubing. Once I started doing these videos, I've now got 2,200 videos on my YouTube channel. And I've had to rebuild my website because people are trying to attack my website and get it offline because they don't want me exposing themselves. So now I have a very strong website. When you click on Contact Us, there's a question. If you click on the Contact Us link directly, you'll see it goes off to a form where we ask people to provide us information, your name, your email, username, so I can find you on WhatsApp, your phone numbers. It's all confidential. It's all anonymous if you want it to be. Name of the Ponzi scheme and scam that you invested in. People don't talk. The name of the sponsor, the person that referred you into it. We want to research them. You might be surprised that if you give me a name and I research it, and then I tell you that person's been involved in this scam, that scam, this scam, that scam, and they've been featured on Behind MOM. And you'll go, oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's what we do. We research stuff for you. Hey, when did you invest? Like this sponsored review that we've just done. The first thing the person says to me is, I don't want my name in this. And, they've actually paid me to do this review, which I'm really grateful for. How many people? Well, we've got news that somebody was about to do a $1 million investment and they decided not to because they read my blog. This blog is on a lot of social media at the moment. It is literally on Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, which has been re-enabled again. I might try and put it on Vocal, which is limited. Carfo, which is one of my websites, Substack, LinkedIn, Blogger, Patreon, Quotia, Reddit. So we've shared this blog all around. First comment we get on LinkedIn, I get paid regularly. I've taken a large sum of money out. It's not a scam for those reasons. But have you bothered to ask Christopher to prove to you where the money's coming from? Remember, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Hey, look, I'm not going to be on here much today. That's 1 hour and 19 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back. Thank you to all my Avengers. Thank you for being here for me and being in the chat room, commenting along the way. Sorry if I haven't given you kudos along the way. We all work relentlessly. Queen of Karma comes to mind because she's the last person I'm looking at here in the chat room. She has written blogs, which even I questioned whether they're massive blogs. Absolutely amazing. She puts her heart and soul into producing content to help people understand about cults and multi-level marketing opportunities. And it's, I do too. But we're not doing it. People go, you're doing it for YouTube clicks. And I go, oh, give me a break. Give me a break. I'm doing it because I'm sick and tired of people gaslighting others into investment opportunities. I'll be really blunt with you. You can do what you like with your money. You can believe whatever you like. But as soon as you decide that you're going to tell your friend or your family member or encourage them to sign up for something that you believe is real, true, and genuine, then I'm going to come after you. And my Avengers will be on your tail because it's all very well for you to do whatever you like with your money. We live in a free world. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to help you, but I get the same people who said, I thought it was true and genuine. How can I get my money back? I don't want you to be on a slab in a hospital morgue because that's horrible for your family. And do you really think that money and being rich is going to bring you happiness? Why don't we look at ways to help ourselves become better versions of ourselves? Why don't you go to your next door neighbour and mow their lawns? Why don't you find a solo mum that's struggling and see if you can help her in some way or form? Do something. Spend some time with your kids or people. Go visit an old people's home and do it regularly and visit people. Become part of a social group. When I was 40 years of age, I lost everything. What I thought at the time was everything. You know, I had 2 inner city apartments. We built ourselves a purpose-built home in the country, even had a panic room, had a satellite dish on the country 10-acre farm, had a V8 in the garage. Wife had a Prado, horses, arenas. Spent $40,000 putting in a horse jumping arena, 6 bay sheds, even built myself an indoor target shooting range. I used to be a competitive target shooter for 10 years. That's what I did. I lived the dream. And then one day I was 39 years of age, and my wife said she wanted a divorce. And I thought, I knew our relationship wasn't as good as it was at one point. And I went, oh. And she wanted to keep the house. And it just went, at that point, the very next day, I had a burst appendix. And I was laying on a hospital bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it burst while they was operating on my burst appendix. So I went from my wife saying she wanted a divorce, a burst appendix, to spending 2 weeks in hospital fighting for my life because I got infected. They were giving me codeine. I was allergic to it. I didn't know that until just about 3 or 4 years ago. And I remember I went into shock, and I had 5 doctors and nurses around me trying to stabilize me. And I remember yelling out in a loud voice saying, don't let me die because the bitch will get 930,000. When my wife asked for a divorce, I said I felt sick. And I said, I was laying in bed with a lot of pain, as you do. And she refused to call me an ambulance. And then, so I got the phone, called myself an ambulance. And then 3 o'clock that morning, my appendix burst on the operating table. When you go through something like that and you lose your home, our flash cars, our prestige, if everyone thought our marriage was pretty awesome. Now, if my ex-wife talked to me, now I would thank her, and I, even just a few months after I was divorced, I'd thank her for, not being in a relation that wasn't any good for any of us. But, the honest truth of it all is, your number one priority should be your friends and family and your health. And that's why we go after these Ponzi schemes and scams, because the first things these things destroy is relationships. And you can have all the money and the wealth that Instagram promises you for your happiness, but if you're not working at becoming a better version of yourself, then you're missing what life's all about, in my opinion. If you need to be part of some community or organization or a religious cult like I was brought up, and then that's taken away from you, you might realize that that was a pillar, something that was prompting or holding you up. You should be able to stand alone. You should be focusing on your inner health, not your inner wealth. You should be becoming a better version of yourself. Don't know if that made sense. But anyway, it's been a bit of a journey for me the last 10 days. Wanted to share something personal. I hope that you haven't invested in this opportunity. And if you have, would love to hear from you. Reach out to me on danny.co.nz or dehek.com. And also in the description of this video, there is actually a link to a blog where you can read or comment and post a comment on my website blog, and I'd love to hear from you. So I'll see you in the next video. I'm Danny Tech, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, here to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Thanks for being here.